Palsec, Eric Chua.
Sir, building a strong social compact starts with building resilient and caring individuals. This begins from nurturing our youth to bring out the best in them. All youth, including our vulnerable and at-risk ones, can be resilient individuals. We must support them well so they too can realize their full potential. Mr. Murali Pillai asked how we can do so. The National Committee on Prevention, Rehabilitation and Recidivism, NCPR, which I co-chair with MOS Faisal of MHA, oversees national efforts to prevent offending, reoffending, and to enhance rehabilitation of offenders. Through the localized community network pilot, we provide wraparound coordinated support to children and youth with complex family circumstances or those who exhibit at-risk behaviors. MSF also works closely with appointed agencies to run programs aimed at reducing at-risk behaviors, such as YouthGo. Over the years, we have made steady progress. The number of youths arrested has fallen by about 40% over the last decade. Pre-court diversionary programs have significantly contributed to keeping first-time youth offenders who commit minor offenses out of the court system. We will continue to work with our partners to build a preventive support system for our youth. We will pilot a mentoring program targeted at students who leave ITE prematurely. We have two main objectives. First, to expand the youth's network of positive relationships. We hope that the young mentees will find lifelong friends and role models in the mentors, pick up useful life skills, and gain access to a trusted adult that they feel comfortable reaching out to. Second, to empower the youth to achieve their aspirations. We hope to broaden their exposure to opportunities and support them in building on their strengths and talents. We intend to gather mentors from various industries to guide the youth to explore potential careers in areas they are interested in. Where possible, mentors will pave the way for internship, apprenticeships, or job placements for these mentees. I'm also pleased to update that from February 2021, that's last month, post-care support for our youth discharged from MSF youth homes has been extended from 2 months to 1 year for all youth discharged from the homes. Beyond this, we invest upstream in family and community resources to address risks and disadvantages as early as possible. And we also regularly review our legislation to better safeguard the welfare of our youth and children. Ms. Sylvia Lim asked about the impact of the amendments to the Children and Young Persons Act, CYPA, passed by Parliament in 2019. Most amendments took effect from July last year. Implementation has been smooth so far. We extended protection to older children who are abused or neglected by raising the age limit from 16 to 18. From July to December 2020, MSF investigated 25 such cases involving older children. The shift from beyond parental control to family guidance orders emphasizes the family's responsibility in guiding their children. Now, parents and children must attend a family program before parents can apply to the court for a family guidance order. The intent really is to equip families with ways to resolve conflict and strengthen family relationships to avoid the need for the court to intervene. The regime is still new at this point in time, and we need time to monitor its implementation. We are also enhancing our capacity and capability to rehabilitate youth offenders. It will take resources, time to strengthen safety and security before MSF youth homes are able to take in additional youths. And on a related note, we're also reviewing the Adoption of Children Act to seek public feedback on proposals to better safeguard the welfare of adopted children. Our efforts would not be possible without close collaboration with the community. As Minister Masagos mentioned, we are strengthening partnerships with the community and encouraging the spirit of giving and volunteering to uplift our vulnerable communities. Mr. Muhammad Fahmi bin Aliman asks how we are empowering our youth to contribute to building a resilient and inclusive society. Many youths have been leading and igniting change through community initiatives, and we are actively partnering them to channel their energy and ideas for good. And I'll be sharing more examples later on in my speech. Mental well-being is a pertinent issue of our time, brought to the fore by the pandemic. At the start of the circuit breaker, MSF and MOH set up a dedicated national care hotline to provide psychological first aid to Singaporeans. The hotline has since managed over 40,000 calls since it commenced operations in April last year. And in recent months, with the gradual lifting of COVID measures, total calls managed has decreased and stabilized to 1,500 calls a month, including about 450 per month that needs emotional support. But beyond this, there is more that we must do as a society to promote mental well-being. Mr. Sean Huang and Mr. Xie Yao Chen asked how the Youth Mental Wellbeing Network will help support youth. The network gives us a platform to brainstorm with the community and try out new ideas to better support our youth's mental well-being. As MOS Xie Ling shared at MOE's COS, network members have initiated over 30 potential projects to date. I took part in a brainstorming session in October last year and was very heartened and inspired by the many good ideas exchanged. One such initiative is driving resilience and inspiration for the incredible next generation, or drifting in short. Led by network members Ms. Francesca Wah, Mr. Caleb Tan, Mr. Jerry Sia, Mr. Pang Lim, and Mr. Chan Ming Hui, Drifting is an outreach program that aims to provide positive peer support for at-risk adolescents. Tapping on the experiences of former youths at risk and informal community touchpoints such as hairdressers, mama shop owners, Drifting seeks to strengthen the social support network and introduce protective factors for at-risk adolescents. The team will soon be ready to recruit volunteers and conduct outreach. Our youth are also actively involved in causes to help the vulnerable. 17-year-old Branson Tan has been involved in ground-up initiative Mummy Yummy since 2013, when his grandmother started the initiative with 3 other mothers to distribute meals to families in rental flats. As deputy lead of the youth team, Branson leads over 200 new volunteers to distribute food door to door. And he also leads weekly house visits in Bedok to check on residents' well-being. Increasingly, youth also want to have a voice in the policy-making process. We constantly find ways to involve youth in our consultations. For instance, the Youth Advisory Group, or YAG, provides their perspective to the NCPR, which I co-share with MOS Faishal. In recent years, MSF, community agencies, and religious organizations have also joined hands to form various networks to address social issues. The Peers Network, for instance, has 35 partners who run safe, sound sleeping places, or S3Ps in short, and mobilize volunteers to reach out to rough sleepers. I recently joined the Catholic Welfare Services and the Homeless Heart of Singapore on the night walks. On one walk, we met 2 uncles who shared their concerns about safety and about losing their belongings when they sleep rough. They were actually initially quite hesitant to move into a shelter, but upon our MSF officers' follow-up, especially on the very next day, they went to engage the uncles again and giving them assurance that the shelters would be suitable and adequate for their needs. They eventually moved into the shelter, and they're now in touch with HDB and MSF SSOs to gradually work out their housing and financial needs. Other volunteer networks which the public can join include the Vulnerable in Community, or VIC network, which befriends and supports vulnerable individuals, including tissue paper sellers and cardboard collectors. The Charity Food Work Group, for instance, which coordinates charity food support to beneficiaries, and the earlier mentioned Comlink, which supports families in rental flats. We hope that more Singaporeans will join us in stepping forward to make a difference. Sir, in Mandarin, please. 每个青少年都能成为适应能力强而有坚韧精神的人。为充分发掘他们的潜能，政府目前与社区伙伴紧密合作，为弱势和高风险青年建立一个预防性支援系统。我们将为辍学的公教院学生试行一项导师计划，引领他们建立积极正面的人脉关系，也协助他们在所感兴趣的领域寻找实习或就业的机会。近年来，我们与社区机构和宗教组织成立了不少合作的平台，针对各项社会课题深入的探讨，并且共同提出应对的方案。其中包括青年心理健康、街头露宿者、社区弱势群体以及食物捐赠等课题。我们将继续与国人合作，共同打造一个以坚韧斗志与博爱大同等情操为核心的社会，以便面对未来所带来的挑战。In closing, let me round back to the questions that Minister Masagos posed earlier. What is our shared vision for the future? What kind of society do we want to be? And what legacy do we want to leave for our future generations? The future is ours to shape, from conversations with the public to spirited discourse with members of this House. We share a vision to build a society where all Singaporeans have access to opportunities to achieve their dreams, and that no one is left behind. MSF will continue to work with all Singaporeans to build resilient individuals, strong families, and a caring and inclusive society so that Singapore can thrive no matter what the future brings. Thank you.